A new pain medication for seniors, what it means for us. Hello there, everyone. Now, I don't know about you, but I've been around long enough to see how medicine has changed over the years. And let me tell you, pain management has been one of those tricky things. If you've ever had a knee replacement, a bad fall, or one of those nagging pains that just won't leave you alone, you know exactly what I mean. Pain can really take over your life, especially as we get older. I remember back in the day when doctors would hand out pain pills like they were candy. You had a headache? They gave you something strong. A little back pain? Here, take these. Before we knew it, we had a full-blown crisis with people getting addicted to those medications. You might have even known someone yourself who went down that unfortunate road. Maybe a friend, a neighbor, or even a family member. It's heartbreaking. But today, I want to talk about something new, something that could be a game changer. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, has just approved a brand new painkiller called Journavx, which has a scientific name, Suzetrigine. Quite a mouthful, isn't it? Now, why should we care? Because this could be one of the biggest breakthroughs in pain relief, especially for folks like us who are dealing with aches, surgeries, and all sorts of bodily betrayals that come with age. Let's go back in time, the history of pain relief. Now, for those of you who remember, pain treatment hasn't always been this complicated. There was a time when you just toughed it out. My grandmother used to say, put some hot water on it and keep moving. But then, along came aspirin, then stronger pain relievers, and eventually, opioids. At first, opioids seemed like a blessing. They could take away pain in ways we had never seen before. People who had been suffering for years suddenly found relief. But then, oh boy, we started realizing that these drugs weren't just helping people, they were also hurting them. People got addicted, lives were ruined, families were torn apart. The government started cracking down, doctors got nervous, and suddenly, those little pills weren't as easy to get anymore. And you know what happened then? Some people who really needed pain relief were left in a tough spot. They weren't drug seekers, they were just trying to get through the day without hurting. That's why this new medication, Suzetrigine, is such a big deal. So, what exactly is Suzetrigine, Journavx? I know, scientific names can sound intimidating. But stay with me, because this is important. Suzetrigine works differently than opioids. It's what they call a NaV 1.8 sodium channel blocker. Now, I'm no scientist, but from what I understand, that means it works directly on the nerves that send pain signals to your brain. Instead of making you feel high or sleepy like opioids do, this one just shuts off the pain signals before they reach your brain. No euphoria, no fuzzy-headed feeling, just pain relief. And you know what that means? A lower risk of addiction. That's what makes this so exciting. We need better options, especially for us seniors who don't want to be dealing with a whole new set of problems just because we took something for a sore hip. Who might need this medication? Now, let's talk about who might actually benefit from this. A lot of us have had surgeries, knee replacements, hip replacements, maybe even a back surgery or two. And let me tell you, the pain after those procedures can be rough. This new medication could be a great option for folks going through that kind of recovery. But it's not just for surgery. Have you ever taken a bad fall? Maybe slipped on some ice or missed a step. The older we get, the more dangerous those little accidents become. A simple fall can leave us with a fracture or a sprain that takes months to heal. Instead of relying on opioids, this new drug could be used to manage that pain safely. Then there's arthritis, good old arthritis. If you've got it, you know how painful it can be. Your joints ache, your hands get stiff, and some days, even getting out of bed can feel like a challenge. Now, this medication isn't designed for chronic pain just yet, but who knows? Maybe in the future, they'll develop a version that helps people with long-term conditions like arthritis. But is it safe? I know what you're thinking, this sounds great, but what about side effects? That's a fair question. Every medication comes with risks, and this one is no different. Some people in the clinical trials reported nausea, constipation, headaches, and dizziness. But compared to the risks of opioids, things like respiratory failure, overdose, and addiction, this seems like a much better option. Another thing to consider is cost. Right now, each pill costs around $15.50. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but if you need it for a few weeks, it can add up. It's not as cheap as generic painkillers, but then again, if it keeps you out of trouble with addiction or nasty side effects, it might be worth it. Other ways to manage pain without medication. Now, I know some of you out there are thinking, I don't want to take any medication if I can avoid it. And I respect that. There are other ways to manage pain, and I think they deserve just as much attention. Physical therapy, if you've never tried it, you'd be surprised at how much it can help. A good physical therapist can teach you exercises that strengthen your body and reduce pain naturally. Acupuncture, some people swear by it. I was skeptical at first, but after I tried it for my lower back pain, I have to admit, I felt better. Heat and cold therapy, a heating pad, a warm bath, or even an ice pack can do wonders for sore muscles and joints. Mindfulness and meditation, I know it sounds a little out there, but learning to relax your body and focus your mind can actually reduce the sensation of pain. Diet and exercise, what we eat and how we move plays a huge role in pain management. Foods rich in anti-inflammatory properties, like salmon, nuts, and leafy greens, can make a difference. And let's not forget movement. Even a short walk each day can help keep our joints from getting too stiff. Final thoughts, what does this mean for us? I think we're living in an exciting time. For too long, we've had to choose between suffering through pain or taking medications that came with big risks. But now, we have a new option, one that could help many people recover from surgeries and injuries without all the dangers of opioids. Of course, as with anything new, it's important to talk to your doctor, do your own research, and make sure it's right for you. I always say, just because something is new doesn't mean it's better, but it sure is worth looking into. So, my friends, what do you think? Would you try this new medication? Or do you prefer to stick with natural methods? Let's talk about it in the comments below. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep moving.